Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another reaction video. Today, we finna react to the 1996 Slam Dunk Contest. Oh, man. I think we all know who won this one. I think we all know who won this one. Yeah, it's that one. But anyway, so without further ado, let's get right into it.
Dave Cowens and George Gervin know about dunking.
Well, they've seen a few. Now, the order has been determined by draw, and Brent Barry is going to go first. I'll tell you what, we saw a lot of these players with some spectacular dunks in the rookie game.
Well, not only that, I think that going first is an advantage in some sense because you're pretty warmed up. I talked with the judges, and what they're going to judge is on this entire performance of this first 90 seconds. But Brent Barry, I'm 48 in the game on an alley-oop.
Okay.
Now that had a little flavor to it. He's just got to make sure he gets 3 dunks in, and then he can go for something spectacular. That wasn't spectacular?
It's the best one we've seen.
Okay.
That's not a bad one either. Remember that Drew plays on the Georgia Tech basketball team and has done pretty well. And today, Georgia Tech defeated North Carolina in a big ACC game in overtime.
He's going to bring out the free throw line. Dr. J invented this dunk, I don't know how many years ago, Reggie, 20 years ago. And Brent Barry is going to do it in the first round. He's bringing it out. But you know what? You have to love it because it's still a tremendous lead.
Did you see his expression? He said, what else do you want? And the fans are showing 10s and 9s in the crowd.
Well, he did step over the line, though, but still, tremendous glide. Hey, Reggie, so did Michael Jordan step over the line. That was incredible. Yeah, it was.
Number 50 is the highest you can get. Here is the last one, and the one with the exclamation point.
Look at the power. Oh, hey, that's from further back than Michael Jordan did on his. They got a 50 in the NBA slam dunk contest.
Pause, no big. You back there, but I'm reading that. I'm gonna give it a.
Let's go to Cheryl.
I'm gonna give it a solid 30.
I
I'm
know
gonna
you
give it
have to be
39.
pumped. This has to be the first time I've ever seen somebody go out, do the dunk with a sweat jacket on, but you were certainly sensational.
I gotta stay warm. I don't got much of a body, so we're trying to stay as warm as possible. But it's tough to come out here on the first because the judges are a little tough on you, and as you can see, the scores are a little bit low. But hopefully, I'll be able to get in the second round.
All right, good luck in the second round, partner.
He doesn't have much of a body, but he's got a set of
Oh,
legs
no.
on him.
This-
Hey, well, the next time he comes, bring your
I
chest.
think we know what's about to
All
come
right,
up
Darryl-
next.
Here's Darryl Armstrong, 6'1". Now, he only played in a handful of games.
And that nigga was shooting
so
40
far
from
this
the
year.
three-point line
Spanish
in the
League
90s.
All-Star, and he has been tutored by none other than Shaq.
Well, he said that he's got a dunk he's going to bring out if he needs it, that the whole world is going to love.
Okay.
Fella.
Pretty good start.
Well, he's a little guy. He's only
Turn me up.
6'1", and Shaq and Penny campaigned with Rod Thorne to get him in this contest. He only has 1 dunk in a game so far. That's got to tell you something. I'm going to give you a hint of what this dunk is called. He said, Reggie, I got a lot of shoes to fill.
That
That would
is his
have been
second
nice.
attempt.
That would have been nice.
And Darryl Armstrong just came off the injured list last Wednesday against the Detroit Pistons.
Well, I had talked to him about it earlier, not being around and being kind of a special guy. Ooh, that would have been good, Reggie. That would have been very nice. He had some serious ups on that.
I think Patrick respects him pretty much after that
He's
attempt.
very
Well,
energetic.
we'll know if it was
He's very
offensive
active.
next week. They put him back
Very
on the injured
energetic.
list.
I'll give
And
him
if he
that.
tries another one of those dunks, he's going back.
That's no attempt.
That's no attempt. He's got a couple of dunks. He's going to make this, but he's got to get into it. That's the old Spud Webb dunk here. The little guy's dream.
Oh, but
He's running out of gas, guys.
a lot of zeal to Darryl Armstrong, and he is like a little more than 10 seconds
gotta
time
make 2
running out
dunks,
for it,
yeah.
but he's got time for one
If you
more.
only make 1
And he
dunk, it's a
only needs one more to
25.
get it.
It's a
If he
10.
misses this, he needs 2 more.
Yep.
Oh, he's not gonna
He the
make
first.
it.
He the
That's
first
what he
nigga to
gets
ever
for being
do
on the
that.
injured list all year. He's been tired. He's out of shape. Can't play him 90 seconds in the
He the
game.
first nigga in a dunk
I told him, he
contest
said,
to do
Reggie,
a
I got
layup.
this dunk that's going to put me over the top. He said, I'm going to give you a hint. I got a lot of shoes to fill.
That was nice.
But you got to make
That
it to the
first one was
finals
nice,
to
but I
get
can
there,
only
baby.
give you a 10.
Let's
for
see
that.
what Shaq and Penny have to say about that. Let's go to Craig.
Well, we got Penny, we got Shaq, we got Nick, we got Dennis, all their teammates. What happened out there, guys?
So if they make one dunk or miss all the rest of their dunks,
Coach, why don't you pick him up? Give
I
him a
only
big
give
look.
them a 10. If they don't make a dunk at all, it's a 0.
I love you, man. We love you. We got a little time, but we love you, baby. That's all that counts. You made it, man. We love you, man.
If they make 2 dunks, I'll judge it right
Let's go
there.
back to the table.
If they make 2 dunks, I'll judge it right there. I'm not going to trip on 2 dunks. But you got to make at least 2 dunks for me to
Jerry
give you a proper
Stackhouse, who was
judgment.
Chuck Daly's pick to win this competition. He had a couple of spectacular dunks in the rookie
If they
game
make one,
from the Sixers.
it's a 10. Okay.
Well, this guy's got a lot of shoes to fill. Also, people going to North Carolina have him as being the next Michael Jordan, and a lot of pressure on him. I saw
Same
a lot
dunk.
of players, Reggie, and a lot of
Same
guys
dunk, just
have
with
him
flair
and
to
Michael
it.
Finley, along with Brent Barry, as the favorites in this competition.
Along with Brent Barry, he's got something to perform the same way. It's about 6'7", 6'8" long, and they can dunk the ball hard. That's what the crowd likes.
He did.
Can you imagine coming
He
in
did
saying
all
you're going to be the
three.
next Michael
Oh,
Jordan?
he
I
doing
mean, that's
some
the
more.
worst curse anyone could have.
He doing some more. You think he can? Oh, that
The
would
worst
have.
thing about it is the first time they met head-to-head, Michael outscored
That
him
would've put him
48
over.
to
Point
9.
Wait a minute, but the young fellow was talking stuff. Michael knew that. You don't talk about Michael like that.
He has to, 90 seconds, attempt 3 dunks. He doesn't have to make 3.
He's tired. He's cutting it short. He thinks he's into the finals.
Okay, so we
I
stop
don't
right there.
know.
He made 4.
Well, that's confident. That's certainly not going to be better than Brent Barry's. No, 45. That was confident.
Now, last year, Harold Miner
gonna
had a
be a 30. That's gonna be a
49.2 in the
34.
first round. Isaiah Ryder was second at 44.6.
That's probably
So
gonna be a
Barry,
34. Let me see
between
what my
first
time.
and second of last year's first dunks.
Okay,
Well,
two-hand
that
windmill.
looks hard, Reggie. I say that any dunk that
He
I
did
could
the
do
two
when I played,
reverses.
definitely a 0.
That's a good way to measure it.
And a
Because
40.
You know how your
I'm
hops
giving
work.
him- I'm giving him
40
35. I'll give him
for
35.
Jerry Stackhouse.
No,
So Barry with the best score so far at
I give him 36.
45.5.
36.
And Darrell Armstrong at
36.
6'1
That's my final score.
for
36.
second at 25.5, and then 40 for Stackhouse.
Doug
And
Christie.
now, Doug Christie representing the New York Knicks, who was traded to the Knicks from the LA Lakers, originally drafted by the Supersonics.
That's a great athlete.
Dunk
Same
fast. So you
reverse.
see how quick he got up and then to dunk. He loves to get it in there quick. And we had a chance to talk to him in the locker room before this. And he is very excited.
Okay.
Kenny Walker of the New York Knicks won the slam dunk back in 1989.
Well, Doug said theatrics is what's going to win it for you. And he's got one called the Moose that he said he's going to bring out. And this is it.
Oh.
This is the Moose. This is what he wants to do. He said this is going to put him over the top.
He's got a whole minute to get this right. He's only got 1 dunk to do. He needs to get a good kick. He's got time.
That time.
It's
That
like
time
a
he can
couple
do
of
it.
field goal kickers in the
I'm trying to see
NFL.
it.
Let's get some time to rest as well.
They're blocked.
Nah, that shit trash. That shit
I don't know if
trash.
that's exactly what Christie had envisioned for that.
No, he wanted to get it off the board, actually.
Give me something else, bro.
This is good.
Come on, dog.
I think Stackhouse made a wrong decision back there on that. I think he should have done some more dunks, Reggie, don't you?
But, you know, I'm not sure if he did that on purpose. I think he just figured that maybe that's all I had to do. You know, because it seems like he would want to get it more.
He's made his 3 as Christie and has 1 left here.
Okay.
A routine slam, and that'll be enough for Doug Christie of the New York
31.
Knicks, who has great moral
I
support.
don't even need to
by
see him, man.
Patrick
That's a
Ewing, his
31.
teammate.
I think what he's trying to do on this one, he got this one from Kenny Smith, Reggie. We worked on that in Sacramento practice. I think Vinny Del Negro was the first one to teach Kenny Smith that one.
Yeah, but only Vinny laid it up when he did his. This is the Moose. This is the one he wanted. But I think, like you said, he wanted it off the glass. If he could have got it off the glass and got one hand where he could have got up on it, it would have been a much more spectacular dunk.
Score of 39.5. Let's send it over to Craig.
Well, Patrick,
Man, come on, he deserves at least a 45.
but he didn't get the one he really wanted, did he?
No, he didn't. But I'm here rooting for him. I think he's going to win. I got all my money on him.
And that's a lot of money.
See, this is back when teammates used to rock out with teammates, bro. They don't do this no more. You don't see the teammates there no more because nobody want to be an all-star break. Because now everybody think all-star is just weak. So nobody want to show out. Nobody want to be there. The only person that really show up these days is Giannis. That's about it. We got to stick, man. Dudes just come out there to support their teammates, man. Even if this all-star weekend was trash or boring, you still showed up for your teammates, though. Niggas don't even do that no more, bro. That shit weak, bro. The culture that's been built.
Okay, let's go to the show.
With these young niggas, bro, it's
Doug, you're a
ridiculous.
little upset. It didn't really go the way you wanted. What were you anticipating?
Just a little bit smoother, you know. Not too much more. Tried to make it to the final round, but I don't know if the 39 is gonna get me there. But you know, it's a good time.
All right, looks like you got a good score. Let's take it back to Dick and the high riser, Danny Ainge.
All right, there the standings so far. The top three advanced, and right now that would be Barry, Stackhouse, and Christie, but we haven't seen Michael Finley. Now, as you know, Grant Hill, with his wrist injury, had to pull out of this, and his prediction was that Finley was going to win the competition.
As was most of the players, Dick. I talked with most of the guys over there on the sideline before the competition started. And
So Grant Hill would have been in here. That would have been crazy. Okay.
And we see why on the first dunk. He's just
Grant Hill would have been in here. That would have been crazy. Ooh.
He could just do game dunks and get
It always be
50s.
one
That's
nigga that
exactly what
get
he said he was
injured
gonna
and
come
fuck
out
it
and do,
up.
just do game dunks.
Okay.
Tomahawk.
He had one in the rookie game. That was
Turn me up, man, Michael Finley. Redeem yourself for that last dunk out there. That shit was trash.
You get the feeling already that Finley is going to move on to the finals. Three will move on.
was doing something that nobody else did. He's got flavor and he's playing to
Turn
the
me up,
crowd.
nigga.
And he's done all dunks. Hey, that will definitely get him to the finals. No, he did a Dominic Wilkins dunk that he got a 50 on. He did a Michael Jordan dunk that Michael Jordan did in Seattle. He did all the dunks that all the great ones have done in the past. Right
Redeem
here is
yourself,
the one
nigga.
that he did.
You
Who
see
did
it.
copy on that? That's the Spud Webb dunk.
No, this is.
Mm,
Yeah, that was a Spud
nice.
Webb dunk.
Mm,
The Spud
nasty.
Webb, Dominique, and a Michael Jordan.
This is called resting on your laurels as far as Michael Finley is concerned. And he was pretty impressive, emphatic with that tomahawk slam and a 45. So Michael Finley just a half a point behind Drew Barry, who still has the highest score at
Michael Finley is in the
45.5.
lead with a
But
44.
Finley will move ahead of
Brent Barry
Christie
is
and
right behind him,
Stackhouse with
39.
one more to go. And that's going to be Greg Minor of the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Now that had some hop.
That was impressive, Reggie. You know, one guy thought that this guy would win it of the people I talked with, but that is pretty impressive. That first dunk.
Got a little bit of juice on that one. Kind of got a little shake up top. But I didn't think he got up that high on that particular dunk.
None of the players in this year's field have competed in this contest before, so this is their first moment in the sun, and they're looking pretty good at it.
Well, I think Minor, all he has to do is beat Stackhouse's 40, Dick, and I think that he's already done that.
Drew Barry and Michael Finley are already in, so we have 2/3 of the finalists all set here in this Nestle Slam Dunk contest. Brent Barry, that is.
And he might have just pushed Stackhouse out of it. Stackhouse did make a mistake maybe and not take another dunk. Maybe got a little better points.
So can Minor surpass the 40 of Jerry Stackhouse? That's what's at issue right now.
He's got to. He did a
Look
better
at the
job.
height. Look how high he got. Ooh, his head was almost on the rim level.
Could you
Who's
do that
up
one,
there?
Reggie, in your prime?
Off
They
of
said niggas in the
trampoline.
90s wasn't athletic.
And
I
a
beg to differ. Look
41.5. And Greg Minor with a 41.5. And he'll become the third member to move along.
We're
So,
definitely. I'm gonna give
Brent
him a
Barry,
37. I'm gonna give him a 37.
Michael Finley, Greg Minor.
Wasn't nothing
have all
impressive, but I'm
advanced.
definitely gonna give him a 37 on it.
And the finals of the Nestle Crunch Slam Dunk. Let's take a look at Brent Barry and Michael Finley and Greg Minor. First Barry with the highest score.
Well, Reggie, you know, this guy, he reminds me that he's the closest thing to Pistol Pete, one of my favorite players as a kid growing up. I don't think Pistol could.
And Greg Minor will go first, followed by Michael Finley and Brent Barry. Minor had a 41.5 in the first round.
So what do you think? Does the guy bring out all the tricks?
Oh my God. Come on.
I think you got to bring it out, Reggie. I don't think there's nothing. This is it, man. You got to get your best stuff right now.
You got to get by this to get to the championship.
They counted that as a miss, but they only take the best dunk, so he could still do something
good.
good.
Attempt, though. It
So
slipped out his
Miner is
hand.
going to have to come through with something big on his last dunk, and now Michael Finley, who had
If it slipped out your hands, that's not an attempt.
in the first
An
round.
attempt is when you try to yam it.
Totally separately than
If
the
it
first
slipped out your
round.
hands, that's not an
Finished just
attempt.
0.5 of a point from Brent Barry, who had the top score.
Now, Michael Finley, he told me before the competition that Danny Manning has described the dunk with 2 balls. If he needs it, he may go to it, but I don't know if he's going to need it. I think if he feels like he needs a 50, he may pull out something he's never tried before.
Danny, I like what he told you. He said, when you asked him, he says, you know, what are you going to do early? He said, Danny, I'm just going to do game-style dunks, stuff that I can do in the game. And he's one of the few guys that can do this stuff in the game with a guy underneath.
He does it in the game. He may be leading the league in dunks.
They gave Miner a 2. A 2.
A 2.
A 2.
We could get a 2. Danny.
I know. Maybe that's more than you deserve, because I
They
can
did
do
him
that
dirty.
too.
Let's not
They did him
stretch
dirty.
this.
All you got to do is touch the rim. Can you get the rim?
Not at my age. Maybe about 2 years ago, Reggie. Here's Finley.
It's smart not to go for that because it was a bad ball. Could have messed himself up. He has to get a lot more height on that ball.
First winner of this competition was Larry Nance back in 1984.
See how low the ball was coming off the rim? That hurt his chances of making that dunk.
Warren Moon of Turner Sports and the Minnesota Vikings on hand.
Well, Michael Finley maybe should have kept the pressure on. Maybe should have done one of the Dominique or the Michael Jordan type of dunks just to keep pressure on Brent Barry.
Well, you're not really rushed. Why not wait for the perfect ball? You see how low that ball came off and it actually skipped the front of the rim. Probably threw his timing off.
You think the door is open for Brent Barry here?
I think it's wide open. It's like a barn door. Let's drive an airplane through it.
Well, it's 7 points on that attempt.
Well, right now, Brent Barry has to put pressure on him. I think he has to come out with a good dunk and try to post a high score. He may not even have to do a second dunk if he gets a good dunk right here.
Danny, not only that, Brent Barry has a crowd. Listen to him. They're already starting to cheer for Brent Barry. If he does anything spectacular right now, he'll have everybody on his side.
That's my too.
Uh-oh, 3 misses.
That's crazy.
And Reggie's saying, what about it? Brent Barry, you're right about the crowd, Reggie, because he gave him a little thrill at the rookie game, and so that was his entree into this competition.
Listen, he had it all set up for him. You know, you got to take advantage of your opportunities.
He doesn't need a 50 dunk. He needs to get about a 45 and put the pressure on the other 2 guys, and maybe he can win by forfeit.
Well, he gets an 8.
Yeah, now these guys can put the pressure back on him.
He got an 8 points, so really, at all intents and purposes, nothing for anyone in that first one. And now, remember, the best score of the 2 dunks, and you got to figure that every one of these guys is going to come up with a better score on their final
I
dunk.
happen to think that because everyone missed,
Shit,
that they
trash.
might be a little bit tight. They may not go for the big one right now.
I thought
They may just want to
97
go
was
and get
bad.
one in
This
since
is
they missed the other
fucking
one.
terrible.
Same order, Greg Miner, Michael Finley, and then Brent Barry will go last.
All right, at least he
Very
did
solid
something.
dunk, but nothing spectacular.
He was just making sure that he made it.
Good point you had, you know, with the pressure on like this, with everyone having 4 first efforts.
Right.
You don't want to come away with 0. So that was Miner's effort. Now Finley, there it is again, Greg Miner.
Reggie, you say that's not spectacular. I wish I could have done that.
Hell, I can't even draw a man that can do that.
In last year's finals, Harold Miner won with a score of 46. Jamie Watson finished 3rd at 26 and a 40.8 for Greg Miner. And that's what Finley and Barry have to beat.
Well, again, I really feel that the guys, they got to come out with a good dunk. But I don't know. I don't know if I go for the big one.
He needs to do something he can convert for sure. And Michael Finley's dunks that he did in the first round got him a 45. So I think if he can do one of those, Reggie.
A lot of people, as you mentioned, around the NBA think that Finley was going to win this contest, including Grant Hill. Here's his last chance.
I got news
A
for
good
you.
one, a good chance.
He could get a 50 off that one. The difference is, it's not the dunk. It's after he caught it, he windmilled it. Now that's what's hard. It takes a lot of upper body strength to do that.
Reggie, that's really a hard dunk, but that's not a 50. I'm sorry. We'll see here in a second, but there's no way that's a 50.
Danny, when you look at this dunk, watching when he gets up the extension, and not everybody could just dunk it, but he takes it back all the way around his head and dunks it again. That's a tough dunk.
Oh, I know that's a tough dunk.
46.2 is the score, so he didn't get the 50.
But very close.
But he's got 46.2 and right now has taken the lead over Greg Minor, who had a 40.8. Right now, let's send it over to Cheryl.
Thanks a lot, Dick. Now, Michael, I know you have to feel a little bit relieved. You missed your first one, came back strong, put you in a good position.
Yeah, the first one, I didn't really have nothing planned. I just wanted to get a good dunk down. And the first ball, I went off the backboard. I should have went for it, but I didn't. And just got a bad bounce and I missed. But luckily, I made that one.
No thanks to Danny Ainge, I'm sure. All right, let's go back to you guys.
So now, as you look at the scoring, Finley has the lead with his second dunk, 46.2. Minor had a 40.8, and now it remains for Brent Barry.
See, this is what we're talking about. He's got a lot of pressure on 46 is a lot, and he's got to come up with a serious dunk right now.
What if he does the free throw line? The free throw line got him the 45.
I think so.
Play to the crowd.
Going for it. Not only that, the guys in the sideline, all the other players are telling him to go for that one.
I would go for a dunk he already did.
He said he would go for a combination Michael Jordan, Dr. J, risky dunk if he needed it.
You already did this.
I think he got it, Reggie. I think he got it. Yeah. I think that's a 47.
It's going to be very close.
It is going to be close.
Didn't have the rhythm, didn't have the
You already did this,
spectacularness of the Finley dunk, but definitely, you know, when you take off from way out there, look at the stride. And we all talked about it. He's gangly, he's long arms, long legs, and he's got some glide.
He was closer than he was the first time. The first time he was right on the line. This time he overdone.
I mentioned Drew. Drew had 9
Hell no.
three-pointers when Georgia Tech beat Carolina in overtime.
Hell
So what a
no.
big day for the Barry family today as Dr. J, along with Dave
34,
Alves,
man.
Maurice Lucas.
34. That's a 34. And they gave him a championship off. I'm not even hating, bruh. That's just, you did the same dunk you already did. And you did it, he wasn't even further away like he was the first time. The first time you was right there on the line. You had distance on the first one. This one, you stepped in a little bit more. That's not better than Michael Finley dunk. It's not. I'm sorry, but it's not. It's not better than Michael Finley dunk. I already know the white people I already know the Peckerwoods coming. Peckerwoods already finna come in. You don't know what you're talking about here, pal. Brent Barry's one of the best dunkers of all time, man. Put some respect on him, just like you need to put some respect on Mac McClung, bro. I already know y'all finna do it, man. Fuck y'all. Anyway, so that's just gonna about do it for this one. This is probably one of the worst dunk contests I've ever sat through, right? Is it worse than 2001? They tit for tat right now. Is it worse than 2010? 2010 is, they made their ducks in 2010, minus Nate Robinson. Minus Nate Robinson, they made their ducks in 2010. So the dunks was weak, yes, but they made them. This one right here, a nigga did a layup. Niggas in the final round, all three finalists missed their first dunk. Everybody got a 0. That's crazy. We're in the final round. How do all three of y'all get a 0? I see why they got rid of the dunk contest for that 1 year, bro. I see why they got rid of it, bro. Anyway, so that's just gonna about do it for this one. I will see you all in the next video. Till then, peace out.